Today we're going to talk about one of the most basic, yet most tricky topics in JavaScript: scope.
Scope. That sounds like a magical territory. Like, you can go here, but you can't go there.
Exactly. Scope is like an invisible room around a variable. It defines where the variable can be seen and where it can't.
So it's like at home. I put my phone in the kitchen, and I can only find it in the kitchen?
Yes, that's exactly how scope works. If a variable is inside a certain room, it won't be visible in other rooms unless you intentionally pass it there.
Wait, variables can really be inaccessible in some parts of the code?
Yes, and that's what causes headaches for beginners. It feels like the variable exists, but it's not found.
Okay, let's take it step by step. What types of scope are there?
There are three main types: global, functional, and block. Today we'll talk about global and functional scopes.
Let's start with global. What is it?
Global scope is like a town square. Anything you declare outside of a function or block becomes global and accessible from anywhere.
So a global variable is like a monument in the square. You can see it from all sides?
Exactly. Imagine putting up a sign on a wall that says, "Today is a holiday," and everyone can read it wherever they are.
Is that safe?
Not always. Imagine if any passerby could grab your sign and rewrite it to say, "Holiday canceled." Same with variables. If they're global, any part of the code can change them, even accidentally.
So it's better to avoid using global variables?
Yes, it's better to limit them. Think about it this way: the fewer people know your secret, the safer you are.
Okay, and what about function scope?
Function scope is like a separate apartment in a big building. Everything you declare inside that apartment is only visible within it.
So if I put my pajamas in a bedroom drawer, the neighbor won't know about them?
Exactly. Anything created inside a function stays inside. Outsiders can't see it, and you can't accidentally mess with it from outside.
Sounds secure. But what if I want to use that variable outside too?
Then you need to pass it out or return the result of the function, but the variable itself stays inside.
It's like if I took my pajamas out of the room. Now everyone can see them, but what's still in the drawer stays private.
Perfect analogy. That's why functions protect your data. It's like a safe. You choose what to give and what to keep.
I'm starting to like this. It's like a lock system inside a house.
Exactly. A variable declared inside a function is like a key that fits only one door.
And what if I try to use that key outside the function?
You'll get an error because the key simply doesn't exist there. The system will say, "I don't know that variable."
Got it. So each function is its own room with its own stuff inside.
Exactly. And when we move on to block scope, you'll see that JavaScript has rooms within rooms. But we'll get to that later.
I'm ready. But I still want to wander around the apartments a bit. What happens if I declare a variable with the same name inside and outside a function?
Excellent question. In that case, the inner variable shadows the outer one. So while you're inside the function, you only see the inner variable.
Imagine a store with a regular sign. But during a sale while the function is running, the owner puts up a new sign on top that says, "Sale." While the new sign is up, everyone only sees it and might forget what the old one looked like. After the sale, the old sign comes back. The inner variable is like a temporary sign that covers the original name inside the function.
Exactly right. The inner variable overrides the outer one while it's active.
Wow. Scope feels like floors in a house. Some things are visible, some are hidden, and some are covered.
Very well said. And with this understanding, we're ready to move on to the third type: block scope.
Block scope. So now we have rooms inside rooms.
Exactly. Imagine that in your apartment there's a closet or storage room. You can put things there, and they'll only be visible inside that little room.
Wow. So if I hide biscuits in the storage room, guests in the living room won't find them?
Exactly. That's how variables work when they're declared inside a block of code, like inside curly braces after an if or for loop.
And if I declare a variable right inside the block, it disappears outside of it?
Yes, it exists only inside the curly braces, just like the biscuits inside the storage room.
Cool. And what if I open the door to the storage room? Will everyone see the biscuits?
Only if you intentionally bring them out. Otherwise, they'll stay hidden.
I see. Do all variables behave like that?
Not quite. There's a little trick. If you use let or const, then yes, the variable stays inside the block. But if you use the old way, var, it doesn't respect the walls of the storage room. It acts like there's no room at all.
Wait, so if I hide a secret in the storage room using var, it will still be out in the open?
Exactly. var ignores blocks and only looks at bigger rooms, functions, or even the whole house.
Phew, that's confusing, but interesting. So if I want to keep something secret, I should use let or const.
Exactly. Let and const are like modern, reliable locks. And var is like an old door without bolts.
Got it.
Programmers now also try to use only the new locks for safety. var is rarely used anymore. It's considered outdated.
Is block scope only used inside if statements?
No, anywhere there are curly braces, conditional statements, loops, or even just separate code blocks.
So every pair of curly braces is like a little hidden storage room?
Exactly.
And every time I write a new block, I create a new space?
That's right. And while you're inside the block, you can use the variables declared there. But once you leave it, access to those variables is lost.
And what if I accidentally forget where I put my biscuits?
Then the program won't see them and will honestly tell you, not found. An error like variable not found is just like looking for biscuits where there are none.
That all makes sense now. It's clear why sometimes the code complains.
Exactly. Most of the time, it's because you misunderstand which room you're currently in.
Wow, JavaScript is like a quest in a huge house. Open doors, find keys, explore rooms.
Great comparison. And the better you know the house plan, the easier it is to move around.
And what if I declare everything globally? Just leave all my stuff in the middle of the room?
Haha, then chaos will come quickly. Everyone will trip over your things, lose keys, overwrite signs.
Got it. So it's better to put things into small rooms only when needed?
Exactly. Cleanliness, order, and safety.
Block scope really is like a personal safe in every room.
You're catching on fast.
I feel like an architect, designing houses and rooms.
And this is just the beginning. It'll get even more exciting.
I can't wait. Where are we heading next?
Next, we'll wrap up the topic of scope and summarize what to remember so you don't get lost in the house of variables. Well, we've reached the end of our journey through scopes. How do you feel about the topic?
I feel like I've built a whole house in my mind, with rooms, floors, and even little storage closets.
And that's great. Let's sum everything up so it's all neatly organized in your head.
Let's do it. So first, the global scope. Everything declared outside of functions and blocks is accessible from anywhere.
Correct. And global variables need special care, because any part of the code can change them.
It's better to keep them to a minimum, so the house doesn't fall into chaos.
Excellent point. Now, function scope. Everything declared inside a function is only visible within that function.
Like a separate apartment in a big building. Once you leave, you forget everything that's inside.
Exactly. And if you want to send something out, you return the result of the function.
Like giving a gift from your apartment to your friends.
Exactly right.
And block scope is like little storage rooms in each bigger room.
Yes. Anywhere you see curly braces, a new mini space appears.
But only if variables are declared with let or const, right?
Right. var is the old way. It throws things into the middle of the room, ignoring the walls.
Var is like throwing your socks all over the house.
Haha, that's a perfect comparison.
But if you use let or const, each variable is stored neatly right where you put it.
Exactly. Everything stays on its shelf, with less risk of losing or mixing things up.
And the variable not found errors happen when I search in the wrong room?
Exactly. Or when you try to use a variable outside of its scope.
Now that makes sense. In JavaScript, it's important to remember, look where you placed it.
Absolutely.
And is it possible to accidentally declare a variable without var, let, or const?
Yes, that's another trap. If you forget the keyword when declaring a variable, it becomes global by default. Imagine you're inside a function, and you write count equals 0 instead of let count equals 0. JavaScript thinks you want to use a global variable, and if there isn't one, it creates it.
Whoa. So I meant to put something in a drawer, but instead I tossed it out into the town square for everyone to see?
Exactly. And then other code might accidentally change that global count without even knowing it was created inside your function. That can lead to unexpected and hard to track bugs.
That's awful. So I need to be super careful and always write let or const.
Yes, absolutely. It's like checking that you've locked your door. Explicitly declaring with let or const makes your intentions clear and prevents accidental pollution of the global scope.
So scopes are my protection, my order, and my comfort zone.
And your safety in this big house called the program.
Now I'm definitely going to build a solid home for my variables. You explained it so well, as always, James.
And your code will be clean, understandable, and easy to navigate.
Thanks a lot. I really enjoyed this topic.
You did a great job. Get ready. Things are about to get even more exciting.